Hey, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 4 ways that you can win with investing in real estate in Tuscaloosa. I'm going to share with you some insider secrets, some things that you may not know about investing in real estate in general, and I am going to talk specifically about Tuscaloosa, but these principles will apply no matter what market you might be looking to buy real estate in. Now, the most for sure way to win in real estate is what I'm going to share with you today, okay? It's not flips. All right, you've probably seen, HGTV where they buy a house that needs a ton of work, they put a bunch of money into it, and then they put that thing on the market and they sell it, okay? That's actually pretty risky. It can be kind of dangerous. Most people that flip properties, they break even or they even lose a little bit of money on the first one that they do. And so if you're watching this, you might be new to the investing world. You might be, like me, like I don't have, a backup plan. Okay, I don't have, a family that can come in and save the day if I get myself in a bad situation. So, instead of going for the get rich quick, go for the get rich for sure, okay? So it's not flips. You flip a house, you make a bunch of money, guess what you gotta do? You gotta go find your next flip, okay? Just hard to build a big monthly cash flowing business when you're doing flips, okay? You also pay a ton of taxes on the profits on those things, capital gains taxes, when you own a property for less than 2 years, okay? It's not wholesales. Wholesales is when you find a good deal on a property, you write a contract between you and the owner of that property, and then you find somebody to come in and take that contract over for, maybe $10,000, $15,000. They give you 10 or 15 grand and you give them the contract, basically. That's what wholesaling is. Again, just like flips, you got to find your next deal and your next deal and your next deal, okay? What I want to talk about today is what I believe is the most for sure way for you to build long-term wealth, which is rental properties, okay? We'll talk a little bit about the difference between short-term rental, long-term rental, rent to own, which is what I do. I'll share a little bit with you about that. But I want to share with you first 4 ways that you can win with rental properties. And then I'm going to kind of break down some numbers for you. So number 1 is cash flow, okay? Cash flow. What cash flow means, if you're not familiar with cash flow, let's say that the property costs you $1,000 a month to own it. By the time you pay your mortgage payment, your insurance, something like that, it costs you $1,000 a month just to own it, and you have it rented for $1,500 a month, right? So on a good month, renter pays $1,500. You take that $1,500 and you turn around and you pay $1,000 to the mortgage company and to the insurance company, okay? That's great. That's what we're talking about on cash flow. It's the income that comes in minus your expenses, okay? And I'll touch on that again here in just a second. Number 2 is appreciation. Properties tend to go up in value. And the Tuscaloosa market is very stable. When we see other markets having bigs up and down, Tuscaloosa just keeps going kind of steady, okay? We do feel it a little bit when the markets are up and down, but not near as bad as what some other parts of the country do. So ideally, you want to buy properties that are going to appreciate in value, okay? When I started my real estate investing career, okay, I was a real estate agent, I was doing well, started making a bunch of money, and without even doing any research at all, I just said, I'm gonna go buy some Section 8 rentals. If you don't know what Section 8 is, it's a government program where they pay the rent or most of the rent for tenants, and you get it like clockwork every month, right? So, you don't have the eviction issues and all that, but you have other issues. And one of the main issues you have is that those properties in those areas typically don't go up in value. So those properties that I used to own, that I was making a lot of cash flow on them, okay? But we just had the biggest boom in real estate in the last, maybe in history, over the last 3 to 5 years. Those properties really didn't go up in value very much. Versus I saw people that I helped buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $150 back a couple years ago, and they have resold those properties in the last year or two for $250, $275, $285, okay? So don't just, that's why I want to show you all four of these. If you only are going for cash flow, you might miss out on some of these others. Same thing with mobile homes, deals on wheels. I know people that crush it with mobile homes. I'm not saying not to go that route, but your mobile home is never going to go up in value by $100,000 the way a house could, okay? So me personally, today, knowing what I know now, I buy pretty houses in pretty neighborhoods. For the most part, if I wouldn't live in it myself, I don't buy it, okay? Desirable school zones, nice houses. Now, they might not be nice when I take them over, but I'm going to make it nice, and it's going to end up being in a good neighborhood that people will want to live in, that people will want to rent in. And if you have good properties, you typically get better renters, okay? So appreciation, you don't want to miss out on appreciation. Number 3 is your loan pay down, okay? So every time you make a mortgage payment, you're paying down that mortgage. First 2 or 3 years, you're paying a lot towards interest. That house payment is mainly going to interest. But every single month, it's paying down the loan. So it's going up in value while the amount you owe on it is going down at the same time. I'm gonna break down some numbers here in just a second, but every month that you have a tenant in place, and that tenant is paying rent, they are helping you pay off that loan, and hopefully it's continuing to go up in value. And then number 4, I don't wanna get into this too much. This could be a whole other video, but tax benefits, okay? Tax benefits. There are tremendous tax benefits. You can take advantage of the commercial tax code when it comes to rental properties. And you know, if you're making $100,000 on rental properties and your buddy's making $100,000 at his job and he's getting taxes taken out of every paycheck, you're gonna actually make a lot more money than he does, okay? Because you're not gonna have all those taxes taken out if you do it the right way, okay? I don't wanna get into that. That's a whole other topic. But if this is the kind of stuff that you're interested in, we have a Facebook group, Tuscaloosa Real Estate Investors Club. It hadn't been out very long. We're trying to grow it. We're trying to provide value inside that group. If investing in real estate is something you're interested in, go join that group. We also do a monthly investor meetup, have a meeting, have a guest speaker, have some food, and it's a chance for us to network with each other, learn from each other, do deals together. So if you are watching this video and you're interested in investing in real estate, but you don't really know where to start, that would be a really, really good place to start. And hey, while I'm at it, if you're getting some value out of these videos, you're getting some value out of this channel, please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell so that you get notifications every time a new video comes out. They tell me that helps me. I'm not exactly sure how all that works. But let me break this down, you know, and just show you some real numbers. I'm gonna move this over here. So this is a little bit closer. So number 1, cash flow. Let's just say you were getting just $300 per month in cash flow, okay? So maybe you rent it for $1,300 and that property cost you, you know, $1,000 a month. So you're making $300 profit per month. So times 12 months equals $3,600 for the year, okay? The rent-to-own model that I do, we find people that are a year or 2 away from being able to qualify for a mortgage, and we let them go ahead and rent the property with an option to buy it. Sometimes they buy it, sometimes they don't. But on my rent-to-own model that I'm doing, we typically are getting $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000 up front before they even move in. So that could greatly, you know, increase this number here. You know, you're getting $15,000 a pop. You buy 3 houses this year, you'll make $45,000 just on these non-refundable deposits when they move in, okay? But I'm gonna give it to you like worst case scenario. I would not do a normal rental, knowing what I know now. I would only do rent to own. I'll be glad to discuss that with you and what that looks like. So you make $3,600 from that. Let's say that this property is $100,000 when you bought it, and 3% inflation means it's now worth $103. Okay, so on top of this $3,600, we're going to add another $3,000 in appreciation, okay? Year one, you're making loan payments. You're paying $1,000 a month for the property. Let's say year one, let's say it only goes down $1,500, okay? But there's another $1,500. Again, you're not realizing this profit. You don't get that profit unless you sell the property, but you're getting yourself in a better financial situation every single month, every single quarter, every single year, okay? So just on this one property that you're making $300 a month on, okay? Let's just do the math here. That's 11, 6, 7, 8. $8,100 is your improvement in your financial position, okay? You know, if you had to sell this property today, you could sell it for $8,100 profit, okay? You might only sell it for $3,000 more, but you made money other ways, okay? So this is how you can get rich in real estate. You're like, Phil, $8,100 is not a ton. You're right, it's not. But this is a simple business. It's a scalable business. If you had somebody else, you might even hire a property manager to run it for you, and to where you're not even getting calls from tenants. You're not even dealing with the maintenance issues. You let somebody else handle that. So you start making $8,000 per year per property. Again, my rent-to-own model is way more profitable than that. But even worst case scenario, you make $8,000 per year. How many of those properties could you have? Could you have 10 of them? Could you have 15 of them? Could you have 20 of them? How many of them would you need to get to your freedom number? Everybody has a freedom number. That's the monthly profit amount that you would need to be able to, you know, have freedom, to not have to work your full-time job, to be able to retire. And the great thing about this too is we start off making $300 per month in cash flow, but year two, maybe it goes up to $350 per month. You know, next year it goes up to $400. Next thing you know, you're at $600, $700, $800 per month in profit just by going up on the rent by $50 per year. So every year, if you're going to do rentals, every year the rent should be going up. You never ever just let people stay locked in at the same rate. That is a losing battle there. You can greatly increase your profitability just by going up on the rent $50 to $100 per year. So when it comes to Tuscaloosa real estate, okay, another principle I want to share with you. When you buy a property as an investment, you've got to be able to win in more than one way. So if the only way I can win with it is to rehab it and flip it, if it's not really a good rental property, the numbers don't really make sense, I'm personally not buying it, okay? But if I could buy it as a rental property, and if I decided to, I could put it on Airbnb as a short-term rental, which is very, very lucrative in Tuscaloosa. You might decide to go that route. Instead of doing $300, you know, per month, you might be making a couple $1,000s a month during the peak season, and then you might have months where it doesn't really get rented, okay? But you got somebody, you don't have somebody living in it, you don't have somebody tearing it up all year round, you know, you're hiring a cleaner to come and clean it up right after they leave. So you might decide to go that route. You might do the rent-to-own route the way that I did it. But when you buy a property, you've got to be able to win in more than one way. If there's only one way to win with a property, you need to run from it, okay? If the numbers don't work out, if the numbers don't make sense, you just can't do the deal, no matter how much you like the property, okay? You gotta look at this like a business owner, not a owner-occupant that's gonna be living in this property, okay? So if you have any questions, you're looking for some help getting started, feel free to reach out. I partner with people on deals all the time, okay? You know, if you are new to this, you probably would benefit from having a partner like me on a deal with you, helping you structure a deal and helping you figure out the financing for it. You know, if you need contacts in town for contractors, plumbers, HVAC, electricians, whatever the case may be, roofers, if you need those kind of contacts, those are the kind of things that we can bring to the table. So feel free to comment below. Hope this was some value for you. 4 ways you can win and 4 ways that you can get rich by investing in real estate in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Have a great day.